Welcome back to Fast Track in Ukraine and my journey to see how preparations are going for Euro 2012. I must admit I wasn't exactly feeling my best on arrival at 6:30 on a freezing cold morning, but Lviv turned out to be quite a pick-me-up. The picturesque centre has been listed by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, with its mix of rich architectural styles and Central European flavour. Igor Lilo showed me round.
People think that border between Poland and Ukraine is, like end of the European Union, like civilization. It's not a truth. Here in Western Ukraine especially, you can find a different Europe, unknown and maybe very specific, but still Europe, in mentality, in architectural style.
Igor told me there were 3 things visitors to Lviv have to try: chocolate, beer and coffee. So, never one to shirk a challenge. First up, the chocolate factory.
So why is chocolate so important here then?
So the chocolates, it's the oldest tradition in Lviv. In 19th century is a time when Lviv stayed under Austrian Empire. And a lot of the people from Vienna, from another part of empire, come in Lviv and would like to test a hot chocolates, for the drink. But here in our factory, you also can test it. Many thousand of kind of the chocolates, or something sweets. Would you like to test?
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah, please.
Can I try one of those? Strawberry one. I like the pink colour, I don't know.
Ale na ruku.
Just the one. Thank you very much. Спасибо. Oh, очень хорошо. Oh, that's good. That's really strawberry. Mm.
Something more?
No, I'll never stop.
Football fans might be happy to learn that there's a long tradition of brewing in Lviv dating back to the 15th century. And they'll be able to take beer tours, visiting several small breweries and getting their beer passport stamped each time.
So, it's a place where we produce our beer.
And how much beer are you producing then a month?
A month we produce about 9,000, 10,000 liters a month.
So how do you make sure then that the quality is good all the time?
So first of all, I try beer every time, yes?
That's nice, it's very refreshing.
Sometimes beer can be more sweeter or more dry because we are a small brewery and it's very difficult to make the same quality of beer all times.
Luckily, this doesn't take place on an empty stomach.
Whoa! That is a lot of meat,
Yeah,
Igor.
and different kind of meats. Pork and
Спасибо.
And these restaurants are completely busy. Culture of beer in Lviv is so popular issue not only for visitors but for citizens of Lviv, of course.
I can imagine this would be very popular with football fans.
I think so. The cost it's around $20. It's $20 for the 4 persons. I think it's not a big cost.
$5 a person, yes. And
$5 a person.
there's plenty of food. So it lines the stomach very good with beer, I imagine.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, cheers.
So cheers.
Unlike in Western Ukraine, where tea is the drink of choice, in Lviv, coffee shops are a way of life. And having a cup of coffee is not just a quick caffeine boost, but a leisurely daily ritual.
How come coffee has become so important here?
Coffee coming in Lviv with the Austro-Hungarian Empire. In the end of 18th century, the peoples, especially the representatives of the governments which came to Lviv, need to have the same style like in Vienna. The place for the special conversation with your friend or partners in business.
just outside the city, Oleg Zasadny is overseeing the building of Lviv's Euro 2012 stadium. He's optimistic that despite the challenges, next year's championship will be a great result for Ukraine.
Tourism development is a main priority, so of course this is for us very important to have a successful Euro event, because that will give promotion for city of Lviv. And then we are targeting new markets, touristic markets, not only Ukraine, Russia, Poland, but also Western European countries. So of course exposure we can have during the event, it's for us very important. We want to put our country, put our cities on the European map, then people will not think where is Ukraine, what is the city of Lviv. Because sometimes people say it's Lviv, Lvov, Lemberg, there are a lot of names with the one nice city. And then we want to really fix this on the map, so people, every time they think about vacation, they will start thinking from Lviv.
And by the way, that stadium in Kiev, where the final's going to be held next year, is apparently where our translator Marta bought her very first pair of jeans back in the early 90s when the Soviet Union collapsed, which just goes to show, I think, how much this country has changed over the last 20 years.
Now, with the answers to your travel queries, here's Simon Calder.
Hello and welcome to the Fast Track Travel Clinic with me, Simon Calder. And let's start with the political unrest sweeping across North Africa. Jane Little is one of several travellers who's got in touch after a planned flight to Egypt, in her case from London to Luxor, had been cancelled, leaving her out of pocket.
EasyJet has given us a full refund, but we had booked a connection to Cairo on Egypt Air and are being charged $100 by the travel agency to cancel the flight. How can we claim that back?
I'm afraid, Jane, I can't see any way for you to claim it back. All airlines can cancel flights with a couple of weeks' notice and have no liability beyond refunding the fare. EasyJet, along with British Airways and Europe's biggest vacation company, TUI, have all cancelled links to Egypt following the unrest. The fact that you've made other bookings isn't EasyJet's problem, though if you bought a flexible ticket direct from Egypt Air, you would have avoided some or all of the cancellation charges that your agent applied. Of course, one effect of the unrest has been a spike in the price of aviation fuel, which makes this question from Kabir in the Bangladeshi capital Dhaka all the more relevant.
I'm an undergraduate student who wants to travel around the globe to places like Paris and London. Frankly speaking, money is a big problem. What are the options for free or very cheap flights?
Kabir, I'm afraid you're a generation too late for free or very cheap flights. In the 1980s and 90s, it was possible to fly for next to nothing as a courier, accompanying time-sensitive documents on scheduled flights. Indeed, I was lucky enough to fly one way on Concorde from London to New York for a nominal payment of $150. But your generation can at least benefit from the vast range of low-cost airlines spreading across Asia, at least halving the average cost, though Bangladesh has yet to benefit to the same extent as India. For a better range of flight bargains, cross the border to the city of Kolkata. From there you can reach Paris or London in a sequence of hops via Mumbai, the Gulf and Istanbul. Let's hope your journey isn't too time sensitive. Now, even though this part of Fast Track is called the Travel Clinic, I'm rarely asked to tackle medical questions. But Chris Chambers of Scotland has asked how to stay healthy abroad. In particular,
I'm soon to visit India and concerned that I may spend a portion of the trip stuck in my hotel room within 2 metres of the bathroom. Any tips to avoid what we call Delhi belly?
Chris, as anywhere in the world, from Delhi to Dundee, the advice is simple. Keep washing your hands in the near-obsessive manner of Shakespeare's Lady Macbeth. Be very wary of raw fruit and vegetables and eat where the locals eat, ideally somewhere you can watch the food being prepared in front of you. Finally, Dean Ball is planning to stay at ground level for a forthcoming trip across the United States.
Could you give me some advice on travelling via Amtrak from east to west coast? which is the best route to take?
Now, the quick way is to board the Cardinal at New York's Penn Station and travel via Washington to Chicago, where you have about 5 hours to explore the Windy City before a 2-night trip to Los Angeles on a journey that keeps fairly close to the historic Route 66. But I urge you to get a 15-day Amtrak Rail Pass at $389, one of the great travel bargains of America, which allows you 8 separate journeys. And for my money, those should take you from New York to Washington, to Chicago, to New Orleans, to Houston, to Tucson, to Los Angeles, to Santa Barbara, to San Francisco. 8 trains in 2 weeks. Well, that's all we've got time for in this session of the Fast Track Travel Clinic. If you've got an issue, just email fasttracktravel@bbc.co.uk and I'll do my very best to find you an answer. Bye for now and see you next time.
And that's it for this week. Next week, Rajan will be at the world's largest travel fair, the annual ITB show in Berlin. In the meantime, if you'd like to check out our website, it's at bbc.com/fasttrack, and there you can find films and features from our archive. And if you're in need of even more inspiration, you can go to bbc.com/travel, where they're celebrating St. Patrick's Day and looking at novel ways of killing time at the airport. But until next time, from me, Fiona Foster, and the rest of the Fast Track team here in Ukraine, do pobачення.